going, paisanos? What the? Oh, haha. Wrong click. I clicked on the wrong thing. Uh, so if you guys are new to anything I do here, uh, we do like let's plays and guides like mixed together. We help you figure out how to get past certain things. And I'm actually back playing Star Trek Online for this technically I think the second time since my brother passed. Like the last week or two he was alive, we played, or he sat up here and watched me play, and we just had time together, so it's been really hard for me to get back into this. But this past weekend I kind of went ham and started playing this again. So we're going to play as my Klingon Federation Tactical Officer, and we are going to do some story missions with him, because he's the character that I made and was playing as during that time. So he is not set up nearly as well as I want him to be, so that's why we got to get further in the game. If I get any friends online while we're playing, we will end up inviting them to a party, and then I'll switch over to a different character and we will do different missions. And actually, before we get started on a bunch of stuff, I have to actually check all of... Hey, look at that. We got some stuff. We're going to check all my stuff here. So, I just did all of his. Let's change over to my Science Vulcan. Check his stuff, then I'm going to check the Engineer. Actually, you know what? Oh, crap. Don't. Okay. Good thing there's a delay. We might actually play as the Engineer for a little bit instead, because I got to get marks up on him and the Science guy, so it'll be the best thing for that. Plus, on Science guy, I got to check the bank to see if anything's sold. So, yeah. And if you guys are looking for Science Team 3 at all, I can cut you a deal on that stuff, since I'm selling a couple things on the exchange for $1 million. It's the cheapest that they are. Hey, look at that, I leveled up. And I don't have any problem just like trading it over to you and helping out as best I can. But first thing we're going to do, which I'm going to show this, we're going to try to make these here. And hopefully within the hour, we'll get this first part done. Yeah, that'll take a little over an hour or so, but that's what my plan is with that. We need officer training. And we're going to make some more science teams. There. Wait, hold on. I just saw him. Just saw it. Where was it? There it is. I got 5 of those made for just in case anybody wants them. And then we will put the rest into... Actually, come back down in special project and do some more of these. Alright, so I gotta get more of the other ones. Alright, we'll just do projectiles for the rest. This is stuff that I used to jump on like every day and do. But after all that went down, I just stopped playing the game really. But it's nice to have everything in here again. Alright, so do I have any ships that I can use? Oh, hey, the cooldown's done. I'm happy. That. Get my highest. I think it's you for that. Need another high tactical with decently high everything else. It's 60, so I go down to 50. Yeah. Nope. It has to be at 50. Or 49 at the lowest. Bam, there we go. These things are really nice for if you need money or experience or anything really. Yeah, you can't do that by yourself. Dang, okay. Let's give you a runabout. Or a Delta Flyer. 90. So we might be able to do this one really easily. Got 60. There you go. There we go. And last one right here. And then we'll get to going on some stuff. Now, duty officers. This is another one that I tend to try to do. If I need dilithium, I come in and do dilithium. If I need credits, I check credits. Usually it's not worth doing the credits where you have to buy something to actually do the item. At the same time, I also do the skill points. That's the best way to level up after you hit 60. Now I just gotta find out everything that I can do, and then we move off to something else. There we go. That's all I'll do for now. So let's get our they stayed in, that's good. We have nothing in there. So after claiming all of that, we got right around 3,000 dilithium. That's the other thing we might go do, because I haven't done it in a while, is dilithium farming. Alright, got all that, so we need to do this one. If you are doing exotic particle, anything with a science person, get temporal for sure. Because temporal will give you exotic particle generation and kit performance. And if, I think it's strategist. Let me see here. Does like energy damage out, so, and it'll make you immune to torpedoes every once in a while. And to increase your bonus damage as well as your what is it, healing and everything, or shield regeneration, depending on if you're threatening or not. Those are the two that I found that work really well. There's the ship we're flying. Let's find out what reputations we need. War games. Okay, so might be doing some Borg stuff, like always, and some Delta. So let's queue up. Where's it at? PvE. Let that load. Alright, Terran. Queue up for a counterpoint. Delta. Borg disconnect. And fleet marks, because I need fleet marks. I always need fleet marks. And now we just wait. The abilities I am running right now, and Borg disconnects ready. The abilities I'm running, if I can show you, is this domino thing, which increases recharge rate for torpedoes, reduces, or no, recharge rate for bridge officer abilities, does firing haste. If I do defeat a foe, I get plus 2 seconds to all effects, and it may occur up to 10 times. This time stabilizer, it pretty much does the same thing. Increases weapon haste and bridge officer recharge rate, and I think it slows down or decays enemy things, I guess you would say. Turn rates and all that jazz. And it negates their exotic damage. And then last but not least, my target, our multi-target tractor beam. I love that thing. And this is some giant heel or something. I don't really know. Only thing I know is I'm hoping somebody comes over here to help. Fire that tractor beam. You got that one. And you just keep moving with this. I gotta repair ships. I guess that's my new thing. Let's see. Yeah, my endeavor, I guess is what you call it. I got the ship. You guys just kill or be killed. Why is there 3 of us over here? Oh wait, that's... Never mind, there's only 2 of us. Don't mind me. It always happens whenever I have... what do you call it? One of the... things... I forget what they're called. Like the photonic ships. I guess that's what they're called. That dude is still here, okay. I'll give you some hazard emitters. Now, the build on my ship is legitimately all exotic damage. That's how I'm building my ship. And I do rotate between torpedo and broadside. Torpedo and broadside. Mainly because my front of my ship has to be at the target. Because if it isn't, I can't do any extra exotic damage. So it's best as you swing around and just keep swinging. Just keep looping around. And I'm going to save these Borg. And then we will go to the next one. Oh, and I actually see my siphon. Okay, that's pretty nifty. I didn't see that before. Torpedoes. And we're going to hold that ship right in place. Okay, I'm really not healing. I gotta get into a harder thing to heal more. And truthfully, with these rotations, you see how each of the torpedo slots get to fire rather quickly and easily. And we're gonna bust through this ship. You did. I probably didn't do that. Ooh, I healed somebody. Yes, stay near me. Let me heal you. I will heal everything for you. My ship is not built as a healer, by the way. It is built to keep myself alive and do damage. Granted, there's a couple ship traits that heal in an AoE fashion. And I have no problem with that. Disrupt that. Save this. Now, doing this with the engineer is a little bit harder when you're by yourself, but it is still easy. Yeah. I will heal you, even though I might not have to. I just want to be safe. Whee! And if you don't know, this medical frigate, no, not medical frigate, what am I saying? Science ship is the same science ships that they used in DS9 during the Dominion War. And whenever I ended up buying this, it was because I was watching a crap ton of DS9, and I finished the season. I'm like, I need that ship for my science officer. So much better than that little itty bitty one that I had. And I will agree, I like this ship a lot more than the little itty bitty one. Mainly because I think there's more, what do you call it, science slots on this one. That's what I think. How's my dog? You're my baby. So my dog is scared because it's storming outside. And she's wet. So I have her wrapped up in one of my blankets. And she's like laying right behind me on my bed. That's pretty cool. Like, just having her here, keeping her calm, letting her know she won't be hurt. That's what I do for my baby. It's my little fur baby. Oh, hey, look, a riff. Get away from me. I don't want to deal with you. I just had to kill that ship. Save the ship. God dang it. No, not the goo. Oh, my turn rate. That's right. I got rid of your goo. Leave me alone. Don't goo me. Disrupting. Those guys can stay out there. I'm not gonna... Pretty much, unless they come near me, I don't bother with them. Like, if they're in firing range, then I'll deal with it. Or they do something like that. Holy crap. This is kind of bad. Because this is the problem I have usually. There we go. Now we're good. This is the main problem I have with doing this by myself. Is sometimes I can't kill them fast enough. So therefore, I can't save the Borg all the time. Now, theoretically, there should be one person by themselves and two people at each of the other three areas. And that's how you, what do you call it? Handle the Borg. And then the hard part is killing these guys. I hate the killer frigates. I don't care about the other dude. Oh, never mind, you're staying with me. Ooh! Hey, cube. Get out of here. Saving my Borg. Just like that. And, oh, I missed the butt torpedo. You have to be on point with your, stuff. Just like these. They gotta be on point with all that jazz. Which I'm not right now. Like, I'm being horrible. Oh, God, there's an extra cube. And I'm being tractor beam. And now I'm getting hit with the goo. And there's Borg behind me. And I can't, there we go. Oh, thank God. Oh, snap, no. Restore cube. Restore. Restore. It's gonna die. So one good thing, I say this all the time, because this is the one mission we can do every time I stream. Like, this one always is here. But, hold on, let me get up. You're not going to stop shooting me, are you? No, you're not. Okay. Let me kill these guys. Just like so. Alright, so what I was getting ready to say is, this is the one mission you can count on having people in it. And it is safe to state, you better know how to do it. Oh crap, another killer torpedo. Woo! That hurt. Alright. I hit that one. Now I gotta turn. And do evasive maneuvers. Get back! And everybody tractor beam that's here. Do this big old butt torpedo. And keep it up. I gotta turn a little bit, fire that thing. But torpedo is not needed. So pretty much what we're doing is flying around this ship until I can freaking save it. Disrupt the... I know you don't have to. Queenie's here. You will be eliminated. The weak shall bear. Okay, so if you don't know, I also like making fun of this cutscene and stuff. I really do. I love this cutscene stuff, but I will make fun of it. So you gotta watch out for feedback pulse, I think it's called. The Queen, I think she's the only one that does it. Let's just hope we get all this stuff. Crap, I want gravity well to fire next. There we go. So what I'm doing right now is keeping the front on so I can fire that torpedo. Circle, fire, and just keep coming around. Ooh, nice. Butt torpedo. Now, one of my disruptor arrays, because that's what I'm using, does have a what do you call it? Oh, snap. No, stop. Stop. Ooh, that was close. Does have a 360 arc, so that's why I don't lose that much DPS by going straight at it. I need to get another one if I can. Eventually. But I have some decent sets going on now, and I will give you guys an update on that once we get done with this. I'll run through my build. Dang, we did kill them all. Look at that. I almost got the healing stuff done, I think.
Thank you for your assistance.
I'm actually gonna sit here. I wanna wait till the healing stuff goes off. Oh, somebody is flying the freighter. That's pretty nifty. Alright, so we're gonna collect our reward. This is gonna be Delta. Leave. I hope I just did that right. Alright, so this next part will be flat out us talking about the build of the ship. And if there's any other ships you want to see, let me know. If you want this to be the main game covered again on the channel, let me know. I'm kind of like jumping around to everything. I'm hoping to cover the new expansion once it comes out on console. I want to do ship covers of ships and everything else. But, you know, if you want to see that, you'll have to support the channel using Patreon. Because currently I don't have a job, so I can't put money into this like I could back in the beginning of last year to the middle of last year. Alright, so we want to look at my ship. So here's the ship I am currently flying. It is the Advanced Research Vessel T6. And if I hit A, we have the Nausicaan Disruptor Beam and the Nausicaan Energy Torpedo, and then the Nausicaan Siphon Capacitor. Those three are part of a set, and the reason why I showed these three first is so I can show you the set information. With two of them, it gains Disruptor Net. It gains 557.2 Disruptor damage every 1 second for 5 seconds, in addition to this normal effect. And then at set 3, I gain 26.6% Disruptor damage and 50 Starship hull penetration, and it improves hull penetration for Starship weapons. So with that, I also have 2 Nanite Disruptor Beams. One's a Mark 11, one's a Mark 12, because I'm currently trying to get the upgrades for them, to upgrade them. They both have a thing to -5 to all damage resistance and increase shield bleed through by 2%. When I fire, I have a 2.5% chance to do roughly 790 physical damage every 1 second. It ignores shields. When firing projectile weapons, I have a 790 or 10% chance to do 790 physical damage every 1 second for 10 seconds, and it has a 1 second recharge. I have 2 of those, and one has plus 20 accuracy, the other one has plus 20% on crit severity and plus 10 on accuracy. Then I have my wonderful House of Martok set, which is the torpedo, my 360 degree House of Martok disruptor, and then the House of Martok Defense Console. Now, Defense Console is rather nice because it gives me bonus hit points, shield setting, engine setting, which I love because I never put in my power setting on anything but auxiliary. Then I get plus 7.5% maximum shield capacity and plus 16% turn rate. I'm going to stop right there because turn rate is very important to me. That's why I make sure on most of my ships I have a turn rate, or at least 2 turn rate consoles on there. Right now I'm at 80% plus 16, so 96% bonus on turn rate. If I go to my stats real quick, turn rate is 7.7 degrees per second. So that's a lot better than what my other ships do, especially my engineer, because if you guys watch this from the beginning of when I started playing on the Xbox, I did not turn at all. I just went straight and like slowly circled, and it took me like the entire fight to circle one ship. But the cool thing with this House of Martok, with 2 of the 3 sets, I get 2.5% critical chance plus 15 accuracy. Ooh, excuse me. And with this 3 set, I get explosive shearing torpedo modification. The special torpedo mod gains proc. Special torpedo modes include high yield. I have something in my throat. High yield torpedo spread, transport warhead launched from this weapon, leave behind -20 damage resistant debuff. So that's Alright, that's good. And then I have 1, 2, and 3 exotic particle, or 2 of them are particle generators, 1 of them's an exotic particle field exciter. They give roughly 30, plus 30 to my exotic particle generation, or 32, sorry, and 30. And this one gives me 32 almost to that, and Starship control effects, as well as 21% bonus to shield capacity when shield healed. Applies field exciter, plus 10 weapon power. It can occur once every 30 seconds. That's very important. This is the timeline stabilizer that I showed you. 15% cooldown reduction on science bridge abilities. That's very important since I'm trying to deal out as much exotic damage as possible. When I use it, I get 30% firing haste. For all weapons, I get 4% bridge officer and captain ability recharge rate every second. And then for foe, it increases their recharge of their abilities by 50%, reduces their impulse speed by 50, reduces their turn rate by 75. That's for 5 seconds for the speed and turn rate. And it negates 25% exotic damage resistance for 10 seconds, as well as 25 control resistance for 10 seconds. There's a 2-minute recharge on that. Granted, there is multiple pieces of this set, but I don't use that. I use this one console in that set. And then the next one, the one I just got, this is from the new lock boxes. You can buy them on the exchange. It is the multi-target tractor array. I like to hold my targets in one spot. That way, if I have a gravity well or a Tycoon drift, they don't move. And it will help my escort friends zooming in and out fighting them. And what that does is it gives me 11.2 energy damage resistance rating, 13.3 starship control expertise. So that means it raises my holding effects, and it also gives me better resistance to it, as well as gives me a 17.8% flight speed or flight turn rate. So now I'm over 100% on the turn rate. I'm pretty sure that stuff stacks. That's why I turned so quick. This thing randomly targets up to 3 foes within 5 kilometers every 2 seconds. May treat foes already affected by previous activations, so it can target the same foe up to 3 times. What it does is it reduces their turn rate and flight speed by 99.6%, disables cloak. It does 444.9 kinetic damage per every 0.5 seconds, and ignores shields, and damage increases by 20% per additional array on a single target. Pulls foes that are over a kilometer, scales up with distance, and has a 2-minute recharge. And the next thing I use is the Domino console. It is part of the Pilot Escort set of consoles. There's 4 in total. Now, the only thing that this doesn't help me with is it increases phaser damage by 15%. I don't care about that. What I care about is the 20 to accuracy, helping that rating go up always helps. Then we do weapon damage plus haste, extended by kills for every 10 seconds. You have 25% firing cycle haste for energy weapons, plus 25% bonus to all damage, plus 25% recharge speed for bridge officer abilities, plus 100% recharge rate for torpedoes. If you defeat a foe, plus 2-second duration to all effects may occur 10 times, 2-minute recharge. That's pretty nice. That's why I use that. And then finally, I just changed this up. I have the warp core, the impulse engines, deflector, as well as shield. And what this does is all together, let me scroll down here, with 2 of them, we get phaser disruptor and plasma increase by 17.8% on damage types. We also extend the range over Siphon Field, which is on the warp core, which I'll go over next. and it increases the shield's passive, which I'll go over next as well. Both of them were at 2, and the shield was at 2.5, and they raise it up to 5k. And with all 4, you get a manipulative energy siphon field now. Additionally, debuffs turn rate by 33% and resistance by 15 damage rating, while providing you with corresponding turn rate and damage resistant buff. And the thing with the shield that I was telling you about is right here. When any shield facing depletes, we do 4,775, almost 76 plasma damage to enemies in a cone along the facing. To all targets hit by blast, they get 644.7 plasma damage per second for 6 seconds. Can trigger once every 30 seconds per individual shield facing. So that is plasma damage, which is exotic damage, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that helps out with me constantly doing exotic damage. The deflector gives me a 10% chance to set recharge times to 80% of normal, so that's also good as well. The engines, I have no idea how to explain that. I guess when I hit people, it hurts them and slows them. And then here is the most important one, is the warp core. As you can see, mine gives bonus energy to engines at low and high, and allows the power to exceed 125. Max warps factor is 12.3. You get 18.8 Starship warp core efficiency, which improves power levels when low. You have 18.8 engine subsystem performance. Bonus engine power adds 7.5% of your engine power to your shield power as bonus, and 50% reduction to cooldown on transwarp. But the cool thing in here is this siphoning field. This targets up to 3 foes within 5 kilometers. It removes 13.3 from all power levels for 3 seconds. Adds that power to me for 3 seconds. And it lowers 15 damage rating, and it gives me a 15 damage rating. Decreases their turn rate and increases my turn rate. That's why I use this ship. I like this ship a lot. And next we will look at the abilities that I use. So first off, we're going to look at my universal slot. It is a lieutenant commander. I have my Klingon science officer, which I have transfer shield strength right now. That has been changing periodically. It depends on what I want it to be. I legitimately used to have 3 of the tachyon beams, 2 1s and 1 2, and then I used to have 2 Tychon Rifts 2 and a Science Team 2. But I recently changed it to have 2 Tychon Rifts. 1 is 1 and 1 is 2. And then a Science Team 3. And then as well as a Gravity Well 3. As well as hazmat emitters. So I have a good balance of attack and heal, which is what I want for my science. I would highly suggest having at least 2 Tychon Rift for science, at least 2 tachyon beams, and at least 1 gravity well. Those are your main attacks. For your healing, I would have at least 1 science team, either 2 or 3, 1 hazard emitters for every possible thing you could need it for. And then your other ability is really up to you. You can have transfer shield, or you can have another tractor beam, or another Tychon beam, or another science team polarized hull, whatever you need. You You can even do, I think it's jam sensors, and take a trait that is on one of the starships, I believe, and it'll have it do more damage to an area instead of just jamming them. The next one is my engineering slot, which is Lieutenant Commander Engineering / Temporal. I have no engineering abilities because, like I said, all of my focus is mainly on attack. So what does that mean for engineer? Since my engineer is my temporal guy, I have it set up for channel deconstruction 1, and then entropic retribution 2, and then gravimetric conversion 2. Gravimetric is my heal, and it does damage. So that's my heal right there. This one does damage, ignores shields, does initial damage for every entropy on it, and it removes it from the target. It'll add to foes entropy within 5 kilometers of target equal to the amount of removed, and it deals 1.2 damage physical ignored shields per stack of entropy on them. This one applies entropy every 2 seconds, and it increases damage based off your particle generation damage. Same with this one. This one's based off energy and shield drains. This is based off exotic damage, energy and shield drains, and then exotic and energy and shield drains, and starship control and exotic damage. So you want to make sure you have all that ready to go. And this is the other one I like more than beam overload. I used to be using beam overload 2 with a high yield torpedo. Do very constant pushes through the shields, and then torpedoes go in and blow up. But I normally don't have to worry about breaking through the shields because my exotic particle damage ignores a shield most times. What I learned just by playing around with skills is this chemosite laced weaponry is fantastic. I love it. What it does is enhances your weapons for 10 seconds to apply on hit 977.7 radiation damage to foes in 1 kilometer radius around who you hit. It lowers damage resistance rating on foes in a 1 kilometer radius. Energy weapons have a 10% chance to trigger, but projectiles will always cause explosions. So this is amazing. It debuffs, and with how often I fire torpedoes, it helps me do more damage. And it'll blow up as well. So, yeah, it's very nice. Then, of course, you got the high yield torpedo 1. Because I have 2 torpedoes, this helps out a lot, getting some bonus damage. Plus, both my torpedoes have special... actually, we need to come back in here. Special abilities with torpedoes. Next, we have my traits, which I wanted to get into a little bit because I figured these might help you out if you're looking into doing something like I do. First off, I have exotic particle, energy and shield drain, and perception bonuses with another exotic particle thing or increase with a damage resistance rating versus anything increase. Crit severity with threat generation. The threat generation goes down, crit severity goes up. This one increases the drain experience or expertise. Sorry, I got some sinus crap stuck in my throat. And then we got to increase the flight and full impulse speed. We have what do you call? What is this one? Your science fleet provides a shield regeneration effect during its duration, additional to the existing effects. This one reduces the recharge for the photonic fleet that I use. This reduces the recharge of the career-specific fleet that I use. I have a massive damage resistance buff and a large damage buff and a healing overtime effect for a short time on ground combat. That's my one activation for reputation. My ground reputation on crits I heal. Receive 5% of your outgoing damage as healing. Kit modules recharge faster. And I gain 40% hit point regen. And it doubles outside of combat. Now with space reputation I gain flight speed and turn rate. Bridge officer recharge. Ability recharge. Hull regen, as well as 10% of your outgoing damage as dot. It penetrates through the shield, I believe. And then for specializations on the ships, this is where it gets tricky. So, whenever I activate any specialization bridge officer ability, I get a minus 5% recharge time on all specialization bridge officer abilities, as well as starship hull regeneration, weapon specialization, exotic particle generation, and each of these, or all this can stack up to 5 times. Parting gift, this is cool. This is like one of the things I love about this. While this is slotted, tractor beam reduces the target's damage resistance and leave behind a warhead that detonates after a few seconds, knocking engines offline for. So pretty much I teleport a bomb into their ship after I tractor beam them. This one, if I use energy siphon, tachyon beam, or tachyon drift science bridge officer abilities, I give a buff which grants immunity to energy drain, reduces energy weapon power usage, and increases your subsystem powers for 10 seconds. This buff may trigger once every 30 seconds. And then this one here is the new one I just got from the Discovery lockboxes, which, after receiving 10,000 damage, I get a stack of Honor Dead, which adds plus 10 to all damage resistance ratings, plus 1% health generation, stacks 20 times, infinite duration. And while I have 20 stacks, I will be granted 10,000 temporary hit points for 40 seconds. While not in combat, I lose a stack every 2 seconds. And real quick to show you, I have multiple different ones that we can use. Like this one here, if I use emergency power to auxiliary, it'll grant me a boost to exotic particle damage, critical chance, and crit severity over a short time. That would be nice, but I don't use that. This one, if I do a tactical or command a bridge officer ability, it will reduce the recharge time of science bridge officer and captain abilities. This may only occur once every few seconds. And you see it's every 5 seconds. This one, if I use Tachyon Beam, it'll regenerate almost 5,000 shield regeneration on the first pulse for up to 20 allies within 10 kilometers. That one's pretty nice if I plan on running and doing healing. But, yeah, I just want to show you all that. I'm going to end the stream here because I'm having very bad sinus issues right now. It's very hard to breathe, so I hope you all enjoyed this. I plan to do more Star Trek Online streams. I will also be doing some more Dynasty Warriors 9 streams. I let the game get updated a couple of times before I tried to play anymore because I was getting a little motion sickness from the frame rate issues. So hopefully that's back up to working again, and keep an eye out for everything coming along in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, share. And if you want to see more content on Star Trek Online, please check out the Patreon page, as well as the PayPal donations if you don't want to do a monthly support. You want to do a one-time support thing. It helps out a lot. It helps me fund this and keep funding everything that I need to pay off while I'm looking for a job. And hopefully, if we get lucky enough, we'll have somebody people support enough where I can use this as the primary income, but that's a ways away. Thank you guys for joining and have a wonderful night.